Hi everyone, my name is Becca Mowery, and I'm so pleased to be able to talk to y'all today about how Baylor Accounting mission trips has impacted my life, both professionally and personally. I went on the Uganda mission trip in 2019, where me and my team helped create a business plan to start a vocational school for at-risk individuals in the community. This trip, it was such a worthwhile experience, and I think about it almost every single day. But I think the big impacts that it had on me were being a dynamic team leader, interacting with different cultures, and then, giving back to the community through my accounting skills. So, first, being a dynamic team member. I think that this is a really key skill that we're not taught necessarily always in a classroom setting. But on this trip, I really had to learn how to assess my strengths and weaknesses, look at my team members' strengths and weaknesses, and say, when is it best for me to take a step back and for them to take a step forward, to make this work product the best work product that it can be and to give other people a chance at a really valuable experience to improve their skill sets as well as mine. And I work in audit currently, and so I think, just having that like type of team member experience where you're really forced to be more of a dynamic team member and adjust your role as time goes on, I think that's a really key business skill. And then secondly, just the cultural experience of going to a different country, where you're not as familiar, with the culture and you maybe haven't um, been put in that type of a situation before. I think it's just so key because we're going to have so many experiences like that in business that you need to learn how to assess a situation, think of what's appropriate, and adapt your style based on who you're interacting with. And I think an example of this is I remember um, before the plane even landed in Uganda, I had come up with like a list of recommendations for a business project, but quickly landing in country, I realized that wasn't going to work. It wasn't really applicable to Ugandan culture and it wasn't going to be received or implemented well. And so we had to adjust our recommendations based on what everybody needed. And so, lastly, I want to talk to you about giving back through using accounting skills. Before this mission trip, I really hadn't ever heard of skills specifically being used in a mission trip setting, let alone it being the focus. And so this was a really life changing and eye opening experience for me because accounting is what I'm good at. It's what I love to do. And I never really thought that I could help the community through those skills. But this trip, it showed me that I have a lot to give people and that, it's my duty to help those in need and help the less fortunate get those skills so they can, better build businesses in their community and hopefully build a better life for themselves. And so those are just a couple of ways that Baylor Accounting, really impacted my life through those mission trips. But honestly, it was such a life-changing experience. And I think it really was an integral part of my time at Baylor, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who's interested. So, thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope that you have a great evening.